Hello, everybody. I've been telling my life story from the 30,000 view. I regress with a vignette. This story I call Hans and Franz. Time frame is Thanksgiving break, 1972. I was a student at CU Boulder. A few of his kids with little money had to come up with adventures. We could not stay in the dorms. A friend and I went to the ride board at CU, saw a ride to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. He called and asked Hans and Franz if they could drop us off Billings, Montana, so we could camp out in Yellowstone. One day later, we were in Billings. Hans and Franz were heading up to a brothel in this silver mining town, like in the 1800s. We go camping in Yellowstone, and a giant storm comes in and dumps 2 feet of snow on us. Next day was a beautiful sunny day. We went hiking. Since there were no people in the park, the animal herds were all down from the higher elevations. We woke up in a herd of elk. When we were hiking, we came up upon a moose. It was massive. We ran into a couple of college-age kids who were cross-country skiing. They invited us to Thanksgiving dinner. We climbed into their car and went to the head park ranger's residence, who was their father. We got back to our camping site stuffed and went to sleep. We woke up in the night freezing. The temperature had dropped to well below zero. Lucky for us, we had a heated restroom nearby. We moved to the heated restroom for the remainder of the night. Turns out we were in the middle of the biggest storm system in 10 years. We had to go back to Billings and call Hans and Franz. We spent one more night in the restroom and headed to Billings. I went to a phone booth in Billings to call Hans and Franz at the brothel. I could not find the piece of paper with the phone number. I had seen the number once. I was on the phone and I closed my eyes and looked at a blank piece of paper in my head until numbers started to appear. As they appeared, I punched them into the phone. A woman answered. I asked her if Hans and Franz were there. She said yes. I told Hans our predicament and how the weather is getting worse. He said they will pick us up by tomorrow evening. We needed a place to stay in this 24 below zero weather. We went to the police station and they offered us a drunk tank. We went in and they locked us up for the evening. Hans and Franz showed up that evening. The 8-hour drive to Boulder took us 3 days. We went sliding off the road and could not drive no more than 20 miles an hour. We finally got back 2 days late. We all looked at each other when we arrived like we just barely survived. What an adventure. Next adventure, we headed south to Mexico. Talk to you later.